Dear students, good morning to all of you. Welcome to this virtual class. Today we'll start that balance of payments, that is the new unit, that is that balance of payments. This unit is divided into two chapters. One is foreign exchange rate, another is that balance of payments. So first of all, we'll discuss that foreign exchange rate. Before we discuss that foreign exchange rate, you already know one is open economy, another is that closed economy. So I will not discuss that detail what do you mean by open economy, but all open economies are economically interdependent. What do you mean by economically interdependent? You have already known the relationship between China and India. You have known the relation between China and India, uh, and relation in between America and India, and relation between Pakistan and India. So economically relation at present, what are the apps already banned by our government? You have already known. So what is the impact of that China's economy when all these apps will be banned by our India? So different countries use the different currencies as the medium of exchange. This is this has created the problems of international trade as there is no universally accepted currencies. If it would be one currency all over the world, so I think there should not be that any kinds of problems for that international transactions or international trade. So that is why we are facing the problem, because each and every country has that own currencies. Some of the problems are how will import make payment in that foreign currencies. Whenever any goods are imported by any other country, at that time that country has to pay that foreign currencies. And whenever he will pay that foreign currencies, at what rate that country has to pay the foreign currencies. So what is the rate of exchange of currencies of the two countries? Should the rate of exchange be fixed or flexible? It means the rate which is be fixed today, that may not be tomorrow, that may not be the next year. So these are the different problems in that foreign exchange market about that foreign exchange rate. So which affects to our balance of payments, because whenever we import that any goods, we have to pay that foreign currencies. Similarly, whenever we sold our goods to any other countries, that is called that export, we have to receive that any other foreign currencies. So that this is the important, we have to know first of all what do mean by foreign exchange rate. What do mean by foreign exchange rates? Dear students, when we can say that, if I will ask the question, what is the rate of the dollar, $1 equal to how much Indian currencies? So some of the students, they will say that at present 75 rupees, 70 for some things like this. So how this rate will be determined? Different countries have rates like this. How this rate will be determined? So for example, if I will say that $1 equal to 50 rupees, then 1 rupee equal to 2 cents. How it is to be determined? This is the problem for that international trade, and that problem will be solved by this foreign exchange rate. So suppose I say that $1 equal to 50 rupees. $1 equal to 50 rupees. Or we may say that that is the symbol of dollar. $1 equal to rupees 50. So it means 1 rupee equal to 2 cent. 1 rupee equal to 2 cent. So it means, what do you mean by foreign exchange rates? According to Crowther, the rate of exchange measures the market. The rate of exchange measures the market of one unit of one currency which will exchange in the foreign market for another. That is according to the Crowther. Again I repeat, the rate of exchange measures the number of units of one currency which will exchange the foreign exchange market for another. Suppose here is that America and India. So America currency is dollar and Indian currency is rupees. Suppose I write here $1 equal to 50 rupees. It means symbolically $1 equal to 50 rupees, that 1 rupee value equal to 2 cents, which is that American dollar or American currencies. The rate of exchange measures the number of units. It means $1 equal to how many units of rupees? 50. That unit of currencies which will exchange in the foreign exchange market for another. Accordingly, Anatole Morad, he said, the rate which one country's currency can be exchanged, remember it, the rate or at which one country's currency can be exchanged for another is the rate of exchange between these two countries. The rate at which one country's currency can be exchanged, $1, that is the one country, can be exchanged for another, that is for that India, is the rate of exchange. That much is that 50 rupees between these two currency. It means $1 equal to 50 rupees. That rate which we are determining, that is to be called that foreign exchange rate. So what is foreign exchange rate? You may write here. It is the price of one currency in terms of another currencies. It is the price of one currency. Suppose one currency, that is dollar, and Indian currency is 50 rupees. It is the price of one currency. It means rupees, 50 rupees. किसका है? $1 equal to. It is the price of one currency in terms of another currency. $1 equal to how many rupees? That is to be called that foreign exchange rate. So exchange rate expressed the ratio of exchange between the currency of two countries, and foreign exchange rate is the price of a currency expressed in terms of another currencies. Some economists refer to it as the external value of the currencies. External value of the currencies. That foreign exchange rate, which is to be also known as the external value of the currencies. So some extent you know here that what do mean by foreign exchange rate. Above all, we concluded here what do mean by foreign exchange rate. In short, foreign exchange rate is the rate at which, you may write, foreign exchange rate is the rate at which one unit of currency What did I say? Foreign exchange rate is the rate at which one unit of currency of a country can be exchanged for the number of units of another country's currency. One unit currency can be exchanged for that another country's number of units. Again, I repeat, foreign exchange rate is the rate at which one unit of currency of a country can be exchanged for the number of units of another country's currencies, for another country's currency. $1 equal to 50 rupees or 1 rupee equal to 2 cent. One unit of currency. Again I repeat, foreign exchange rate is the rate at which that one unit of currency of a country can be exchanged for the number of unit of another country's currencies. This is called the foreign exchange rate. Next, I think the meaning of that foreign exchange rate is clear. Then next is that types of exchange rate. Next is types of exchange rate. What are the types of exchange rate? Types of exchange rates. Types of exchange rate. First types of exchange rate is fixed exchange rate systems. Number one, fixed exchange rate system. And second one, flexible exchange rate of system. One is fixed exchange system, another is the flexible exchange rate system, and third one, managed floating system. Fixed exchange rate system, flexible exchange rate system, and managed floating rate of systems. What do you mean by fixed exchange rate system? What do you mean by fixed exchange rate systems? Fixed exchange rate or fixed rate of exchange, both are same. So fixed rate of exchange refers to the rate of exchange which is officially declared or which is fixed by the government. Fixed exchange rate system is a system where in the rate of exchange between two or more countries does not vary or varies only within the narrow limits. Under that fixed or stable exchange rate system, the central bank of a country rate systems intervenes the foreign exchange market in such a manner that a stable market or stable exchange rate is maintained. In order to maintain the exchange rate fixed, the central bank has to keep a reserve that foreign exchange of foreign currencies so as to provide the foreign exchange in exchange for the domestic currencies. So what do you mean by fixed exchange rate? Fixed exchange rate is a system which is officially declared or which is fixed by the governments. That is that fixed by the government. Fixed exchange rate system means that systems which is officially declared and which is fixed by the governments. It means it is clearly indicated that the rate, how much that $1 equal to how many rupees, that must be that declared by that government which is to be fixed. If we will go to the history, then what we will be observed, that is the different things. But there are mainly two kinds of fixed exchange rate systems. One is that gold standard systems. One is gold standard system. Another is that Bretton Woods system. One is that gold standard system. Another is that BRETTON, Bretton Woods system. Although it is not your syllabus, but I am giving that hints are done by gold standard systems. According to these systems, in most of the countries, from 1870 to 1914, gold standard systems, in 1807 to 702 1914, gold was taken as the common unity of parity between the currency of different countries' circulations. One word I use that parity. That means equity. So each country was to define the value of its currency in terms of gold accordingly. For example, 10-gram gold how much is the value in India? That is that suppose 50,000 rupees. And this 10-gram gold is that $1,000 in America. Fixed 10-gram gold in India, that is 50,000 rupees, and 10-gram gold in America equal to $1,000. So it means $1,000 equal to 50,000 rupees. So $1 equal to how much? 50,000 divided by 1,000. How much? This is that 50 rupees. This can be called that gold standard systems. This is to be called that gold standard systems. Accordingly, we will find out that exchange rate with one country with the another country. Now it is clear how that gold standard system affects to determine that exchange rate system, which I am discussing with that fixed exchange rate systems. So this system of exchange was also known as mint par value of exchange or mint parity. This is also to be known as mint par value or mint parity. Remember it. This is to be known as the mint parity or mint par value. Mint value of a currency implied gold value of the currencies. So what do we mean mint par value? It means in this value of one currency in terms of the other currency was fixed considering that gold value of each currencies. This is called that mint par value or mint parity. Mint par value or mint parity or mint par value. This is that system of the gold standard systems. And second one is that Bretton Woods systems. Second one is that Bretton Woods systems. What do you mean by Bretton Woods systems? Bretton Woods system or Bretton Woods conference held in 1944 set up the International Monetary Fund. Bretton Woods systems or that conference held in 1944. This was held in 1944 or 1944 that set up that International Monetary Fund, IMF, what I am saying, International Monetary Funds, as well as the World Bank. World Bank, IMF and the World Bank, and re-established the system of fixed exchange rates. At that time they established that how that exchange rate will be fixed. So they established that time in the year of 1944, which is to be Bretton Woods systems. That conference held in that 1944 set up the International Monetary Fund as that and the World Bank and re-established the system of foreign exchange rates. So this was different from the international gold standard in the choice of the assets in which national currencies would be convertible. So a two-tier system of convertibility was established at the center of which was the dollar. It means the US monetary authorities guaranteed the convertibility of the dollar into gold and the fixed price as per that ounce or that cent, etc. So whenever they established, IMF and World Bank established this IMF and World Bank, they participating this converting the systems, which is that fixed exchange rate systems or that into dollar, currency into dollar at a fixed price. The latter was called that officially exchange rate. Whenever that IMF and World Bank, when they will decide the rate and that rate will be fixed, and that is called that official exchange rate system. This official exchange rate systems. Official exchange rate system. It means IMF and World Bank, what rate they will fix, and that will be that fixed exchange rate system, that is to be called that official exchange rate systems. So it is clear now what do mean by fixed exchange rate systems. It means the rate which will be fixed, that cannot be changed because it is officially declared, because it is fixed by the government, so the rate cannot be changed. That is why it is to be called that fixed exchange rate systems. So now we'll discuss what are the advantages of fixed exchange rate systems. If that fixed rate system will be implemented, what are the advantages or what are the benefits by this fixed exchange rate systems? What are the merits? What are the advantages of this fixed exchange rate systems? So it means that rate is the stable. There will be no any kinds of fluctuations. There is no any kinds of changes, or there is no any kinds of that risk that about the changes in near future. So that is to be called that fixed exchange rate systems. So first merits of that fixed exchange rate system, I will say that point wise. Number one, stability. Stability. Stable means constant. Stable means rigidity. Stable means no change. Stable means no risk. Stable means there will be no any kinds of fluctuation or fearness near future if any kinds of changes will be occurred. So due to that fixed exchange rate systems, it ensures the stability in the exchange rate. The exporters and importers, two terms, remember it. When we will sell the goods to any other countries, that we will be called that exporters. Similarly, if we will purchase from any other goods, purchase from any other countries any kinds of goods, then that is to be called that importer. We will be called that importer. One country may be exporter and same country may be the importer, because in that open economy the goods are so varieties and large, so far the quality is concerned. So no single country cannot exist without that any kinds of transaction of the goods and services. So that in this foreign exchange rate systems or in our open economy, the country who is that exporter, that country may be that importers. Now you should be clear the meaning of exporter and importers. So whenever I am speaking about that stability, which is the advantages, which is the first advantage of fixed exchange rate system, that time the exporter and importer do not have to operate under uncertainty about the exchange rate. Suppose you will invest or you will decide that to sell the goods to any other countries. So at present, which rate is decided, that should be the final. There should not be any kinds of fearness. In future, the goods price may be increased or decreased in that foreign country. The value of the goods will be increased or decreased. That kinds of risk is to be avoided, or that kinds of uncertainty is to be avoided. So that is why it promotes that foreign trade, because what rate is fixed, that is the final, and there is no certainty, though there is no uncertainty that in future there will be any kinds of change. So that it is to be called that stability. It means due to that stability of that foreign exchange rate or that fixed exchange rate, it ensures the stability of the exchange rate. The exporters and importers do not have to operate under uncertainty about the exchange rate, thus it promotes that foreign trade. So first point is that stability, and second point, that is that in fixed exchange rate, capital movement. Capital movement. What do you mean by capital movements? Whenever due to that fixed exchange rate, it ensures the stability and it promotes to that foreign trade, so it promotes that capital movement. It means due to that fixed exchange rate systems, when it implements, this system attracts the foreign capital because due to that stable currency. Stable currency does not involve any kinds of uncertainty about exchange rate that may cause that capital loss. It means if there is that uncertainty, it means in future there may be any kinds of change. There is the uncertainty, it means it may be profit or it may be loss. So that in fixed exchange rates, that fixed exchange rate system attracts that foreign capital because stable currency does not involve any kinds of uncertainty. When there is that uncertainty, so you may be the sure about that calculation, about that capital movements, which way you can earn that profits. Next is that stable exchange rates prevents the capital outflow, prevents capital outflow, prevents capital outflow. Fixed exchange rates prevents capital outflow, and also it prevents speculations. It prevents speculation, and also it prevents speculations, as well as this fixed exchange rates force the government to inflations. In case of fixed exchange rate system, inflation causes balance of payment deficit resulting in depletion of foreign exchange reserves. So these are that we may say that advantages or merits of fixed exchange rate systems. Number 1, stability. Number 2, capital movement. Number 3, prevention of capital outflow. Number 4, prevents speculations. And number 5, we may say that inflation. Check the inflations. When the rate is fixed, there is no chance, there should not be any kinds of increase or the decrease. So there is no chance about that inflations or deflation. So inflation. So these are the advantages and limitations or that demerits. It contradicts the objectives of having free markets. It contradicts the objectives of free markets. The critics of fixed exchange rate system have identified the drawbacks of this system are that fixed exchange rate large reserves of the foreign currency are required to be maintained by the countries with deficits in their balance of payments. That is why it leads to misallocation of the economy's resources as it requires the exchange control measures. It cannot persist for the long balance of payment problems and fluctuation in the commodity prices in the world market. Any force of the countries to bring about the change in that exchange rates, because all time it is not possible the rate will be fixed or the rate will be always same. So there are some disadvantages or demerits. First one, it contradicts the objectives of having free markets. Second one, under this system, the countries with deficit balance of payment run down their stock of gold and foreign currencies. This can create the serious problems for them, and they may be forced to devalue their currencies. On the other hand, countries with the surplus balance of payments will face the problem of inflations. These are the different kinds of demerits, only 2 or 3 demerits of these fixed exchange rate systems. Next is that flexible exchange rate systems. Tomorrow we'll start the flexible exchange rate systems. Thanks to all of you.